Hey, welcome back, Let's Players. I know it's been quite a while since I've uploaded one of these, about 3 weeks, but I have been a little busy, and if I'm not too busy tomorrow, I have the second half of this episode all recorded, so all I have to do is add the audio, and I might be able to upload it by tomorrow. Or worst comes to worst, it's, 2 weeks from now. Now, as much as I love this game, I've decided that I'm not going to do Hector's mode, but I'm also not going to deprive you of the awesomeness of watching, the other side quests, though, because they're actually really cool side quests. So, I'll do them, I just won't record them, and I'll only record the side quests, and then put them up as, like, little bonus things. Because, I mean, I might get a lot done in the summer, but still, there's just a ridiculous amount of episodes, and there's no point in just redoing them. With just a little bit of cutscene difference, which I'm doubting any of you ever watch anyways. Okay, so we're on Fergus's ship now. This is one of the ship levels that tend to appear in like any Fire Emblem games, I guess. All the ones that I've played, there's at least one ship level. And the way these work is, you've got your ship, there's an enemy ship on one side, maybe the other side, and there tends to be a third ship that shows up from the back to just mess you up. But this is still a very easy level, because they tend to not mix their forces up well in this, which makes it really easy to destroy their armies. On the left side, there's only shamans. On the right side, there's mercenaries, there's a couple of archers, and there's a couple of myrmidons, but no variety there. So, if you send Lucius and Florina on the left side, and Hector and Oswin on the right side, then they just can't deal with your army and they end up getting ripped to pieces. Okay, so Ninian just sort of floated up in a little dinghy, and the way that the currents are going, she must have come from the Dread Isle, which is always bad news, because we're taking her back, too. Okay, so, yeah, and for some reason we haven't even seen the ship yet, and they drill a hole in the side of our ship. And these guys call themselves sailors. Anyway, so yeah, now here, the attack comes up. In the bottom, a third ship shows up near the end, actually, because you have to hold for 11 turns in this map. An enemy ship shows up near the end of it, and that one actually has a bit of a variety. It's got a mercenary, myrmidon, a shaman, archer, and 2 Pegasus Knights, but by then it's too late for them to do anything. I mean, they show up once and they die. Now, on this map, there's a shop and an armory. It's a good idea to take advantage of these, because I was doing a, I don't even know what to call it. It wasn't a practice run, because I've already done so many friggin' runs of this. I know almost every line by heart. But yeah, there was, a really bad weapon shortage when I was playing. And I mean like a horrible weapon shortage. Until I got to a side quest where essentially all you do is buy things. I was so short on weapons, it was insane. I had like none. I think I ended up having to like give Oswin a slim lance. It was that bad. Anyways, so it might be lagging a bit here in the sound, I'm not sure, but this is Oswin at his prime. His growths are average, so it doesn't matter when you class him up, but he ends up a really good general. If you get a little bit of luck with the defense, then he can withstand any blow that comes towards him. Actually the only other person I can think of like Oswin would be Wallace, but you don't necessarily get him. And then there's Hector. When he classes up, he's got one of the best defenses in the game and one of the best strengths in the game. So he's also probably the main tank you use, especially because he has an axe, so he destroys everybody else's generals. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm doing here actually. Not the voice thing, but it's been so long since I've recorded this. I don't know what I was doing when I actually played this map out. But anyways, the strategy is simple enough. I have Lucius go to the left, Florina accompany Lucius in the left, I have Hector and Oswin defend in the right, and I have people go where they're needed. The boss here, he's a little bit annoying. He's a shaman with a lunatome, but also it's important to know when to take advantage of a lunatome. Because a lunatome means what it does is it negates the resistance of the enemy. Oh hey, I do remember him. When I talked to the tutorial girl, Anna, in the tavern, the last level, she talked about him, her boyfriend, like Jack or something, whatever his name was. Anyway, so the lunatome negates the opponent's resistance, so essentially Lucius will get the same amount of damage from the lunatome as Oswin will, or Hector will, people with crappy resistance. But also the downside of the lunatome is it weighs a lot, and it has no bonus power, so you're relying only on your magic. But another good point is it has a really good critical hit rate. If you give it to a shaman, it's about 12 or something, I'm not sure, it's some high number. Anyways, but what I was gonna say was, it makes it really easy to train, say, like, a knight, or just anyone with a bad resistance in general. If you see the boss has a lunatome, it's awesome, because if he has a lunatome, that means he's a shaman, which means he's got a kind of bad defense, and of course a horrible speed, and normally he's got a decent magic, but the only way the magic is good is if he has a high power tome, like Flux. They'd give him +7 or something. It's Flux like the axe of magic. And also, the enemy has a low resistance. So, if his tome doesn't do any bonus damage, then he's sort of like a sitting duck. He's just going to get destroyed by, say, a Myrmidon with low resistance or a general, because he's going to be hit twice, and his attack isn't nearly as effective as it should be. There are 2 lunatomes in the game you can get. 2 or 3, I'm not sure. And you only have one person using Canis, so of course he's valuable. It's really effective for him to use lunatomes against any of the magic bosses. And also, off the top of my head, I can name 1 or 2 non-magic bosses like Denning, he's a sniper, who have an amazingly high resistance for some reason. Or actually any boss, they tend to, they're like a general, they tend to give him much higher resistance than he normally should have, just so that he doesn't like have that blindingly obvious weakness. Oh yeah, there was another important part. I think I've already said this, but the lunatome can kill the final boss in one hit. You have to power him up with Nils. He gets a ring that gives someone +10 to attack or magic, depending on which stat they use. And the final boss has 120 health. So if Canis or Athos has 30 magic, which is, for Athos he starts with it, and for Canis it's actually easily obtainable if you use him a lot, then you give him the bonus, give him the lunatome. With the lunatome's high critical, they can kill the final boss in one hit. Oh yeah, that also reminds me. I was actually just wrapping up my for fun round, I guess I'll call it. And I ended up using an assassin, and the assassin has the really cool ability to instantly kill any enemy he sees, pretty much. The chance to do this is half of his critical, which is of course good because the assassin has a high critical, especially if you give him a killing edge and a good support combination like Jafar has Nino, which gives him a really good critical bonus. And if it's against a boss, if it's against a final boss, like the one I was talking about with 120 health, the chance to do it is 0. You can't do it, they won't let you. But if it's against any normal boss, the chance is a 25% chance to do the instant kill. Now I think you've seen him by now, Nurgle. He's the boss for this, obviously. He has 75 health. He has a tome which only he can use. It deals 50 damage. He has a... sorry, someone was talking. He has a tome that only he can use, which deals 50 damage. And he has a really good resistance and a pretty good, like, defense. So he's really hard to kill except without the legendary weapons you get. So, if you use Jafar against him, or any assassin, then you can get the one-hit kill on him, and that's actually what I did. It's really impressive, because the assassin's critical is he pulls out his knives, and he spins them and then like jumps up in the air and stabs them. And when Jafar pulled out his knives, I'm like, oh, I guess he got a critical damage. And then the assassin's, it's called the silencer ability, the one-hit kill. When he pulled out his knives and spins them, he like splits into 3. And then those 3 guys attack the person he's attacking. And then the screen has like flashes of color. If it's an enemy assassin doing it, it's flashes of red. If it's like your assassin doing it, it's like purple and red and stuff. So when I saw that happening, I kind of shit myself. Because I just killed the final boss in 1 hit and he wasn't even weakened at all. It was slightly disappointing though, because I was hoping to train some other guys on him, but it still worked out well. I mean, my lords by then were invincible anyways. I had the level 60 guy. Because Athos, his stats pretty much required him to be level 20 mage, who then classed up into level 20 sage, who is now a level 20 archsage. I'm just assuming that that's how it goes. So either he's level 20 or level 60. Either way, it's still pretty useful. Okay, yeah, unfortunately, we're a bit behind, but that's not too long. It's not too bad. Now that guy there, that mercenary who just attacked Oswin, he's got a rather good weapon on him. He's got a longsword, which is a sword that's effective against cavalry. So it's perfect to give, say, your Myrmidons, because then the one thing that can normally destroy them, the fast-moving cavalry with spears, they get destroyed by it. It's only got 18 hits in it, but if you give it to Guy, then the only thing he has to worry about are generals, really. And you can compensate for that by giving him maybe a Lance Weaver, which I guess would help in both situations, or an Armor Slayer, which does triple damage to armor, as the name implies. I actually want to look into that. If any of you guys know, please comment. I want to know how the bonuses work. I read somewhere that it does triple damage, but is that before defense? It has to be after defense, but even then, I'm not sure. I want to know what the abilities are for that kind of thing. Anyways, I'm kind of running out of time here. I have 30 seconds left. Hopefully, I'll be able to upload part 2 of this episode, so I'll be back on track for my uploading days, I guess. I probably have anything to do tomorrow, a little English assignment, that kind of thing. And yeah, then we can kill the shaman together, save the boat, go to the Dread Isle, and hopefully not die. So, I guess that's the end of the episode. That Gamer Mexican signing out.